Welcome to the Origin Summer Preview with the Dice Tower. In this series, we look at recently released and upcoming games for summer 2014. And now, recorded live at Origins 2014. Here's your host, Eric Summerer.
It's the Origin Summer Preview. I'm Eric Summerer with Adam and Shraman from Hikari Games, which you may not have heard of because you're brand new, still forming as a company, and your debut product, this is a pre-production version of this, but this is called Phoenix Covenant. What sort of game is this?
Phoenix Covenant is Magic meets Final Fantasy Tactics.
Do you have my attention?
Yeah, it's all of the interesting deck building elements of, let me choose what type of strategy works for me, mixed with the depth of an actual tactics game like chess or Final Fantasy Tactics. There are great things that you can do on the field. Simple units that you have movement, and facing and turning actually matters. So I can move a unit forward, I can move a unit diagonally, I can move this unit diagonally twice because it has two moves, and I can attack a unit from the side.
Okay, are there weak points?
Yeah, so every unit is composed of empty sides, armored sides, and weak points.
Oh.
So if I'm able to take this Lone Ronin and move him around to hit the lady in the rear, in her weak point, he's going to do massive damage.
So these red dots, or red flares, I guess, are weak points, and then these sort of metal spikes are armor points.
Armor points.
And then if there's nothing else, that's just a regular side.
Right. You're going to do less damage against armored sides, obviously, and you want to get to those weak points because you can remove units quickly. So a lot of the game becomes about positioning and, tactical positioning and getting your units arranged in such a way that your opponent can't penetrate your formation and you can penetrate theirs.
Ultimate goal of the game? What are we trying to do here?
Much like Magic, the ultimate goal is to reduce your opponent's life points to 0. Your opponent starts out with 30 life points, you do as well.
Okay.
You reduce your opponent's life points by attacking them from their home row. You attack their gates. Basically.
Okay, so these sort of glowing green things are ways to attack the enemy.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Get a unit to their home row and you're home. There are also hard points, which are structures that are a little bit forward that can also be attacked to do damage to your opponent.
And there's strategic structures as well. You can build your own structure cards on top of these hard points, affecting the game.
Oh, okay.
Affecting what you can do.
All right.
This one in particular allows you to, let's say, if you moved a commander up the field, you could swap that commander out with something in your hand.
Yeah, a stronger commander.
So again, these kinds of synergistic, mechanics that happen in CCGs or Magic specifically.
So I've got a hand of cards on my turn. What am I doing with everything?
Okay, so what you're doing, say with this hand, for instance, you're thinking about on the board, how can I do damage to my opponent, but also protect myself. My opponent has a very strong unit, coming towards me, and I have a few units that are upfield that can do some damage to him. So or her. So I'm here. I'm going to do some damage. I'm going to do some damage up here too, but I also want to protect myself. And so in this case, let's say I use my tower and I can swap this commander, as Adam just indicated, with a much stronger one. So now I've provided threat. Like, even though this unit is not going to do any attacks this turn, I've provided a focus that's going to distract my opponent from attacking me directly.
Ordinarily, you can only bring guys out on your home row.
Exactly.
But you did some sort of special ability that let this guy come out a lot farther down the field.
And we actually extend on that. So let's say if this is my card here and this is a commander unit. Commander units allow you to, let's say, forward summon. You can bring in units instead of just in that home row, or instead of using special mechanics. You can see, based on a certain grid that a commander will have, you can place units adjacent to it from your hand.
Now, the dice you've been using as a proxy here, what do those mean?
So what we've been doing here is, you can see all the orange ones, they're kind of red, so it's like health points. So we have persistent damage. That makes us different than many CCGs out there, and makes us very close to the tactic side.
So the damage persists from turn to turn.
Right. So 2 damages onto this, 3, 4, etc.
Okay.
Now, for these other dice, these are shield tokens typically, or that's what we've been using them for. Yellow dice have been counters, so if we have certain counter mechanics, build up a certain amount of counters, do a thing. Now, granted, we've been playing around with a lot of different structures and designs for how are we going to track different aspects of the game.
But there will be lots of different stats to track because you have lots of different colors of dice over there.
So actually, don't get us wrong. Even though we're nerds, so
Okay.
we've bought plenty upon plenty dice. But that just gives us a lot of room to work in the prototype space. Really, what it comes down to is you'll be fiddling around with some bits, but for the most part, we're talking about certain status effects that'll pile on top of one another. Mainly, we're talking about damage that gets tracked. But there could be things like stuns. There could be things like poison counters, things like that.
So let's talk time frame. Where are you right now with the project, and where do you expect it to be? How far out are we as to getting this game?
So we are looking to try to get into Kickstarter or other types of crowdfunding, primarily Kickstarter because it's been so lovely with games, particularly tabletop. And that should be we're aiming for the next 2 months.
Okay.
To do a launch and to get people excited about it. That's why we're looking into Origins, to get other people excited about it, looking at our booth and all that. But we've been we've probably play tested this dozens upon dozens of times. We've gotten fantastic insight and other feedback. This is actually our 11th version. We have some original prototypes in here, which are just scrawls on little pieces of paper. So we're getting very close. We have some good balance. There are some things that need to be tweaked.
Okay.
But for the most part, we've obviously invested enough to make really great art behind it.
So for those, if this piques someone's interest, how do people follow you and know when this moves to the next phase?
Okay. So thankfully, we're on Facebook.
Okay.
That's facebook.com/Phoenix Covenant, or you can just search Phoenix Covenant. We're on Twitter. We generally like to tweet. We're not always on it, but. That's PHX Covenant. We couldn't secure the proper title.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then we're building out HikariGames.com, so that's you'll be able to follow anything that way. There is PhoenixCovenant.com, which will point you there. It used to be on our Tumblr.
Okay.
Now we've stopped.
Well, thank you for coming by, showing us the game, and best of luck in the near future.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Eric.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you join us for the rest of our summer preview videos. We'd like to thank Gamma and Origins for making these videos possible. And we hope that all of you have fun gaming. See you next time.